I'm a scientist, a field biologist, so in that context, it's in the field, in an ecosystem, in a forest, could be on a lake, near the ocean, whatever it is. In other fields, it's other sorts of things. If you're an artist or a historian, it could be teaching in museums or historical areas, or bringing yourself to the place where the teaching happens, which is not in the traditional classroom. I mean, obviously my bias will be towards the sciences, so that's the kind of teaching that I do. But the challenges to have a field course are similar, regardless of field, because they fall into categories that aren't traditionally pedagogical. They fall into areas like risk assessment. How do you overcome your university's worry for having someone be outside of a controlled classroom environment? It's in the field, so it's somewhere that there's different kinds of risks. There's permitting and understanding. If you're dealing with animals or you're talking to people or you're doing all these things, there are regulations around that are difficult to understand, that just through pedagogical training you would never necessarily know what they are. And then there's financial constraints. There's a push always in any kind of endeavor to do everything as inexpensively as you can. And the most inexpensive way to have an educational experience with students is to have lots of them in one place, because there isn't much cost associated with that. So you go from several hundred students and one professor for a couple of hours each week in a lecture format to 15 students in Paris for 3 weeks. That cost dynamic changes a lot, and there's a lot of issues in and around that. All students aren't equal. Their means aren't equal. How do you work through the finances of a university to do that?